Hello everyone, my name is Katya and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this adorable light up gnome ornaments. When you turn up the lights, this is how they look like. For this project, you're going to need number 4 medium weight yarn. I have it in cream and red. You're also going to need some sort of yarn for the beard. I'm going to be using this plush yarn I have left over from a different project. And the hook size I'm going to be using is 4.5. And also you're going to need some sort of stuffing, 1 tea light for the gnome. You can use any of them you want. 1 wooden bead for the nose, scissors, and a hot glue or any glue to glue on the beard and the nose. Using our red yarn, we're going to start with the magic ring. To work on your magic ring, hold on to your yarn tail with your thumb, wrap your yarn around your 2 fingers, crisscross it in the front, hold on to your working yarn with your ring finger, insert your hook underneath the first circle. Using the second circle, bring out a loop, now twist it, go into your working yarn and chain 1. Here we have a magic ring with the chain 1. Into this magic ring, we're going to work 4 single crochets. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and pull on this yarn tail to tighten the center. For the next round, you're going to need some sort of a stitch marker. I'm going to be using a piece of yarn. You can use anything you want. Now go ahead and place it in front of the first single crochet. Into the first single crochet, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So pick up both loops and work 1 single crochet using that first stitch, and go back into that first stitch and work your second single crochets. So here we worked an increase. For the rest of the 3 stitches, we're just going to work 1 single crochet using those stitches, and we should have a total of 3. So here's 1, 2, and 3. At the end of this round, you should have 5 single crochets, and that was round 2. For round 3, we're going to repeat round 2. We're going to work 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Here's 1, and go back into that same stitch and work your second single crochet. Now for the rest of the stitches, we'll just work 1 single crochets. So that it'll be a total of 4. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And at the end of this round, we have 6 single crochets. For round 4, we're going to repeat round 2 again. We're going to work 2 single crochets into the first stitch. Here's 1, and go back into that same stitch and work your second single crochets. And for the rest of the stitches, just work 1 single crochet. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it's going to be 5. And at the end of this round, you should have 7 single crochets. So each time it's increasing by 1 stitch. And let's repeat round 2. For round 5, we're just going to work 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into the remaining of the stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 this time around. And at the end of this round, you should have 8 single crochets. Continue working like this for round 6 all the way to round 21, repeating round 2, working 2 single crochets into the first stitch and then 1 single crochet into the rest of the stitches until you have a total of 24 single crochets. So continue working like this, and then I'll meet you at the end of round 21 to show you what to do next. At the end of round 21, you should have 24 single crochets. Now to end this round, what you need to do is, instead of slip stitching using both loops, you're going to slip stitch using the back loop only, which is right over here. Normally we pick up both loops, but this time just pick up the back loop. Slip stitch and go ahead and cut your yarn. Next, let's go ahead and work on our chain so we can hang this ornament from the tree, and it'll be easy for us to work on it now than later. And all you're going to do is just slip knot and chain 30. Now you can change the size here and make it shorter or longer, it's up to you, but I'm just going to go ahead and chain up 30 and I'll meet back with you. Here I have a chain of 30 all done. Go ahead and cut your yarn and remove your hook. Let's go ahead and insert our hook on the inside of the hat and try to get to the top where we started around 1 using one of the yarn tails. You can go ahead and wrap it around your hook and pull through on the inside, and repeat the same thing with the other yarn tail, but this time I'm going to try to find a different stitch around round 1. Wrap your yarn tail around your hook and pull through on the inside. And here I'm just going to go ahead and use this yarn tails and just tie them together into a knot. Don't pull too hard because you don't want your chain to come on the inside of the hat. You want it to stay there. I'm just going to make 3 to 4 knots and just leave the yarn tails inside the hat because it'll be just extra stuffing. Now turn your work back out. For round 22, we're going to insert our hook using the back loop where we ended round 21, which is right over here for me. I'm going to insert my hook and pull my cream color through. Hold on to your yarn tail and also hold on to this yarn tail as well. I'm going to go ahead and work my yarn tails in so I have less to worry about, but you don't have to. You can just leave them inside of the hat. Now let's go ahead and chain 1 and now work 1 single crochet using the back loop, the first loop of that stitch. Now using the back loop of the next stitch, we're going to pick it up and work 1 single crochet into that loop. Again, you're going to pick up the next loop and work 1 single crochet, and then go into the next stitch and pick up the back loop and work 1 single crochet. So we're just working 1 single crochet around using back loops only. Continue working like this, and at the end of this round you should have 24 single crochets worked into the back loop. For round 23, I'm going to go ahead and place my stitch marker back, and now I'm just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch around using both loops. So here I'm picking up both loops of each stitch and just working 1 single crochet around. Continue working like this, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. You should have 24 single crochets. Now for round 24 all the way to round 30, all we're going to do is just work 1 single crochet around. And that's all it is here, just working 1 single crochet around until round 30. And I'll meet you at the end of round 30 to show you what to do next. At the end of round 30, this is how it looks like. Now let's go ahead and flatten it out and add the bead for the nose and some yarn for the beard. For the beard, I'm using some plush yarn that I have left over from a different project. Now I have 4 strings that are measuring about 10 inches long. And what we're going to do is right over here, I'm just going to use 2 strings and I'm going to go ahead and fold them in half. And these, I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half one more time. So right over here is where I'm going to glue this part right here to this area right here. So right where the red is, I'm going to leave the red alone, but just add some glue right over here onto the white or the cream. Just a little bit, like so. And then just go ahead and glue these right on top of it. Now don't worry, it doesn't have to be exact at the bottom. We're going to trim it. Now once this is glued on, we're going to go ahead and glue the bead on. And I like to glue it in a way where the holes of the bead are just not showing. You don't want to glue it this way. You want to actually glue it this way so it's not showing. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this bead on. So I'm just putting on some glue onto the bead and just going to go ahead and press it as close to the beard as I can. And just hold it for a little bit. If your holes are showing on the bead, what you can do is just go ahead and cover it with this beard, add a little bit of glue, and just cover it up. Just tiny amount. Now once this is done, what I like to do is just come over here and add a little bit of beard or yarn for the beard there as well. So I'm just actually going to go ahead and use one. So I'm just going to fold it in half and fold it in half one more time. So here I have 4 pieces. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it right at the bottom, right over here. So add a little bit of glue and glue this down. Next, let's go ahead and trim the beard. Here I have a tiny amount of stuffing, and what I'm going to do is just go ahead and add it to the hat. Now you don't want to stuff too much, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a shape. I think that should be enough. I didn't even add anything here, I just left it alone. And now I'm just going to add a little bit more right into this area. Half of what I added for the hat. So here I have this much, and I think that should be enough. I don't want to overstuff it because I want the light to show. So now you choose which tea light you want to use. I have this left over, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this. Now you can go ahead and place it on the inside and just kind of measure it and make sure you like the way it fits with the stuffing. For me, this is fine. I'm just going to leave it alone. And now I'm just going to go ahead and push it in so I can work on the last round, round 31, and the round 31 is going to be our decrease round. Let's go ahead and work on the decreases. And the way to work on the decrease, what we're going to do is pick up first stitch, yarn over and pull through. Now going to the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Here we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Here we work 2 single crochets together, our decrease, and let's go ahead and repeat. Insert your hook into the following stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now repeat, going to the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Here we have 3 loops on our hook. Let's go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Here we worked on the next decrease. Let's repeat. Here we have 2 loops, going to the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. Here we have 3 loops. And now we're going to pull through all 3 loops. And like that, continue working until the end, and I'll meet you then to show you what to do next. At the end of this round, I have 2 stitches left, and I'm going to go ahead and work my last decrease using those 2 stitches. And at the end of this round, I have 12 single crochets. Now go ahead and remove the stitch marker, you don't need it. Go into the next stitch and just slip stitch using that stitch and cut your yarn. You are finished. What I like to do with this yarn is I'm going to bring it on the inside using the single crochets of the last round and just weave it in back and forth using the single crochets. Now you can always use a yarn needle and weave in your yarn tail that way. It's up to you how you work on it here, but I'm just going to use my hook. Just going to go ahead and cut this. And now last thing you want to do is if you push down on your tea light, it'll come towards the opening right over here. And just go ahead and push in your little stuffing. And here's your cute little ornament. And you can use it by turning it on and turning it off. right over here. That's why we left this open. And here's our finished gnome. To this one, I added little bells to the top, which you can do. I mean, you can decorate them any way you want to, or leave them as is. It's up to you. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.